There you are.
How are you, lovely lady?
You. Your hair got longer. I know I'm one to talk, but.
Oh, it's been a summer. My summer has been my hair in a clip-in and a headband.
Oh, I know that feeling very, very well. Only too well.
Fabulous.
Oh, thank you. How are you doing?
I
Oh
am
my.
well.
When's the last time I saw you? I think it was at. Was it at Xplor? Was it?
It was Xplor.
Wow, in Vegas.
Yep.
Wow.
I don't
That
think
seems like
eons ago.
Lifetime. Like a whole. Wow, that was so long ago.
It was.
So tell me tell me about your summer. What did you do this summer? Did you go anywhere? Did you just work or?
I did not work. I've actually paused my business. Are we recording now? Yes, we are.
Oh, we've been recording this whole time.
Good. Shoot the you know what it's all about, right?
Oh, we just shoot the shit straight out of the gate.
Excellent. All right, so we're saying shit, right?
Oh, you can say whatever you want.
Excellent.
I make it very clear to YouTube that this content is not appropriate for children.
Oh, perfect. I don't have any. Don't like it too bad. You may hear that bark in the background.
Same thing here. I had to kick him out of the last session, and then throughout the entire session, all I heard was this like whining and scratching at the door. It's like, I don't know what's worse.
Then they get howling. Anytime I'm on FaceTime with my grandkids, they howl like crazy.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. They're like little babies.
Yes, they are. They are. So with COVID happening, the few clients that I've been working with kind of paused, which obviously made sense for them. Mm-hmm. And I didn't feel in a position to go out to try and sell my services at the moment with, real people's lives, people dying and
yeah.
That's the sad state of affairs. And I just learned last week that a former colleague passed away from COVID-19.
Oh no.
And just had no idea. And another good friend's father was in one of our rest homes here and passed away, and it's just so sad.
It is.
And we're all wearing our masks and being safe. I've gone to the grocery store. I have been to a couple of regular retail clothing stores, but other than that, I haven't been anywhere. I have been fortunate here in the United States. They amended the laws for unemployment to include self-employed.
Yeah, we had the same here too.
Yes, so I was fortunate that I was able to claim those benefits. And I've been working on a phenomenal landscape project in my backyard. And
ooh, do we get to sneak peek? You get to take your screen down and we'll take a look.
I might be able to do a peek of that. But it's been actually laying 6 pallets of flagstone around my pool patio.
Oh, wow.
And you know what a hot summer it's been, Joanne.
It's been, all I know is if we didn't have a pool, I would either be in jail or in a straitjacket. There's just no denying that with my household of testosterone, without that pool, no.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be shooting the shit, but I'd be shooting it at walls somewhere in some sanatorium or something.
There'd be real bullets in there, right?
Oh my goodness.
Excuse me.
Oh, no worries.
I've had a busy day. I had Elevate Print launched.
Oh, yes.
And I was able to present this afternoon with Erica Switzer.
Oh, and she just got a promotion, I believe. I think I saw, right?
Yes, I saw that well and congratulated her.
Yeah.
And then I just got off a webinar with AP Tech that was all about postal going on here in the United States. I'm sure you've seen the headlines. It is just
Oh
absolute
yeah.
chaos
Oh
here.
yeah. Oh yeah. Fun times.
Never thought in my life that would I ever see, you know, the nightly news with the Postal Service on it. Crazy.
Oh wow, that's not so. So you're busy again. You took a
Yes,
break.
things have
Now you're.
absolutely back in action here. I actually got reached by one of my prospects I had provided a proposal for earlier this year, and it was for training and education. And it's perfect because I can do that obviously online. I don't have to be on site. So that's working out very well.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
busy on LinkedIn and doing my thing.
That's awesome. So how did you become, what's your title? Postal advisor. How does one become a postal advisor? What did you have to go through, may I ask?
How much time do we have here?
Oh, until my dog goes berserk.
Fortunately or unfortunately, depends upon how you look at it. I worked for the US Postal Service early on in my career. I went to work in my mid-20s, and I worked there for 18 years. And I was fortunate. I moved up in the Postal Service into a supervisory role. And then they had a program called Management Training Program. And a lot of competition. I was very, very fortunate to be selected for that. And it's essentially 3 years
Mhm.
of dedicated training and learning all aspects of the Postal Service.
I have to ask, what can, 3 years is a long commitment. You can become a beautician in what, 9 months? No, seriously, and like
Yes,
play
yes.
with people's faces and skin and
Yes.
3 years. So I have to know what do you learn in 3 years? I'm dying to know here.
Well, I mean, for the John Q public, they really don't know what goes beyond this, behind the scenes, or what happens with that letter they put in the blue collection box.
Right.
But, the Postal Service, has an annual operating budget of $65 billion. It employs close to 600,000 employees. It's, I think second to Walmart, or
Wow.
second to the military, or something like that. But in today's volumes, they're still processing about 150 billion mail pieces annually. That is down from their peak in 2006 of 206 billion mail pieces. So they have 40,000 vehicles on the road, let alone the tractor trailers that are contracted to move the mail.
Mm-hmm.
The airlines that are contracted to move the mail. So in this training program, I got to learn mail processing operations. I got to work 3 to 11, 11 to 7,
Oh,
and
nice.
certainly 7 to 3.
Oh, nice.
In a mail processing operation, 3 to 11 is processing all outgoing mail. 11 to 7 is processing all incoming mail. And during the day, they're processing marketing mail. But you go out into a retail office and they sell stamps, they deliver mail, they sort mail, and the postmaster that's responsible for a post office. I got to fill in as a position and run a post office. They call that an officer in charge when you're filling in for an actual postmaster.
Okay.
So I actually ran an office, soup to nuts. They actually transfer the financial responsibility of that post office over to the officer in charge. So I'm responsible for all the letter carriers, all the postage stamps in the building, the clerks that sell them, the transportation that goes in and out of there. Then, the other part of, just back office stuff of the Postal Service, there's a huge marketing department in the Postal
Sure.
Service.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are managed by, a very large advertising agency. So there's the retail side, there's the marketing side, but there's also a vehicle maintenance side. You think about the 40,000 plus vehicles
Sure.
out there delivering mail. They have to maintain those vehicles. There's human resources, the hiring, the firing, the timekeeping, the payroll. There is the legal side of things with managing 4 different unions.
4 union? Oh, well, yeah, I
4
guess.
different unions.
Yeah, that
There's
makes
a clerk
sense.
union, a carrier union, a mail handlers union, and a rural carriers union. So you learn everything for, everything to, when there's grievances, you've got to learn how to, from a labor relations standpoint, deal with those grievances. It's a detective work, gather all of your information to support that grievance and so forth.
Wow.
It's just amazing. And the training, they have Postal Service used to have their own dedicated training facility in Potomac, Maryland. And that's where they would send all their supervisors for whatever, training that they were up for. And in my career, I was fortunate to have gone there 17 times to learn. And I've been able to take all of this information and bring it with me out into the industry. So I've been out in the industry as long as I was in the Postal Service.
Wow.
And the last, when I came out of the management training program, I wanted to get into marketing. And there were no marketing jobs. And the goal of the management training program is to place you in a mid-level manager's position. So I wanted to deal with, the public. So they had this fairly new position. It was called an automation readability specialist.
Arse.
So, yes, only the Postal Service. This was at, the beginning of their automation program. And this was, trying to figure out, while mail pieces wouldn't code with a barcode, and speaking to the customer about changing the design of their mail pieces. So this position actually morphed into a role called a mail piece design analyst. And this position became a outward-facing, client-facing, educational position that I absolutely loved.
That's so cool.
I did it for the last 10 years of my work there.
Wow.
And, the training and education, the presenting in the industry, getting involved in the industry. And as part of this, outreach, I was actually, Postal Service actually does have a wonderful educational reimbursement program, but I was able to go to school and get a certificate in direct marketing so that I understood what my customers were going through. That was I knew what to do on the Postal Service side, but I didn't know the other side of the business.
Wow.
So I was able to go through that and click, 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 all the light bulbs.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
So again, very, very fortunate to have that background to bring in on the outside. And then having worked in small letter and mailing fulfillment companies, and then graduate into the printing side of the world, and then bringing the letter shop experience into those printers. I did that at 2 of the jobs that I had since I left the Postal Service, and that's when the printing industry was morphing into expanding their services and becoming the marketing service providers and offering, different things. So I did that at one very large, web press printer, and then another medium-sized printer that they were both very, very successful with it.
That's amazing. That's so cool.
I've been blessed. I have been blessed.
So talk to me a little bit about not the evolution, not the resurgence, but the shift in direct mail and the perception of direct mail, which many people still lovingly refer to as junk mail.
They do, they do.
You know, again, I'm in Canada. I don't know how much you know about Canada Post. You probably know more about it in what little knowledge you do have than I even know about it.
No, you're in the industry in communications, so I do know a little bit about it, but
my mail, I haven't had any direct mail, like I get, other than I get my Costco magazine in the mail. I'm waiting for my IKEA magazine because I know those are out in the mail somewhere.
Yes.
I get my bills, and we get some coupons.
Wow. So
coupons.
Are the businesses up there just not mailing?
I don't know. I know we don't have the same incentives that you guys have.
No, we got some.
We do not have that at all. And no, I'm not seeing it. That again, I guess there's been the door hangers, the longer, but still they're all more they're restaurant coupon based. Sure. That's what we're getting most of, is the restaurants, the coupons. I'm guessing it won't. Sometime in September, we're going to start seeing all the gyms starting mailing again. That's my guess. That's my gut is telling me that. But when we're talking about business direct mail or people trying to target me, I can't even tell you the last time anybody, and if everybody's listening, I have not had one, other than real estate agents or investment brokers. Those have been the only people who have called me. Certainly not mail or anything. Just call. No direct mail. No, nothing.
Well, that could be your platform for Joanne Gore Communications in Canada. Let's get mailing.
Yes, let's figure out what needs to happen.
So even though you don't have the promotions as far as the discount that the U.S. Postal Service is offering, you could still facilitate the same type of campaigns with some of that promotional information. The QR codes, the color trans promo, the mobile shopping, discount or not, it's all about the ROI and the open rates.
Oh my God, I know. You don't have to convince me. I mean, I preach about it. I write about it. I tell everybody how much you need that touch, that now more than ever, especially, events are going virtual. And I these are the conversations I've been having with people over the last couple of days, whereas before, I hope nobody's watching these back to back because they're just going to hear me say the same thing over and over again. But whereas before, when you were in a booth, you're on the trade show floor, you have to hope people in the booths know how to attract people to their booths, right? The print is kind of a loss leader, right? I mean, people will go in, they'll grab a brochure, they'll grab something.
Samples,
and when the printed samples, they'll have their t-shirts or their buttons or their pens or whatever. But and yes, that's all print, but print on ink on paper, especially over the last few years, it's kind of been hit or miss. It's gotten a little thinner. I'm saying now it's got to be the flip side, because you've got all these virtual events happening and nothing tangible to tie you back to it. Right. Imagine if you signed up for an event and you got in the mail your lanyard.
Yes.
With your name.
I love it.
Maybe a t-shirt.
Yes.
Maybe a cap.
Bunny
maybe a branded mask.
Or mustache.
Something that once you get to that event, now you have your lanyard with your name so people aren't just like looking in here. You've got something that ties you back to everybody else, or give everybody a virtual background, or give, right, tie back your virtual, send everybody like a banner to put in their background on the wall if they don't want to use it for whatever.
Right.
But now you have an opportunity to send it. So send an envelope with a QR code on the outside. You don't even need to open the envelope. Scan the envelope. Throw out this, you don't even need to put anything in the envelope.
Don't even mail an envelope. Do an oversized postcard.
Whatever. But my point is, take that physical and turn this virtual event where we're all just so hungry for that physical interaction. And the only thing that's going to make that happen is print.
Okay. So now we're both speaking at Xplor, right?
Yes.
What are we going to have Skip and
I don't know. I have to ask him about that.
Skip.
Yeah, Skip.
Yeah.
Poor Skip. You know this is going to be my teaser, right? It's just going to be us going, Skip.
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 Make it tangible. I love that.
I still think we should, because you know, we usually, I think, what is it? Is it Canon that usually provides the bags? I think for Xplor, right? Yeah. So why not ship the goodie bags? Ship the goodie bags.
Yes.
Yes.
I love Tchachkes.
We have to. The Tchachkes rule.
Oh.
Now, how do you spell Tchachkes?
I gotta write it out first.
How do you? Because you know there's 50,000 ways to spell it, right?
I'm not even gonna go there. Just trinkets.
Swag. You gotta use the right vernacular. Swag.
We're swagging.
All right, so like we're halfway in and I haven't even asked you my question. That's what shooting the shit's all about, right?
That's right. There's no rules.
No rules. How have business conversations changed over the last 2 weeks?
Well, that they've started. For me.
For you. And that's really interesting because you're the first person in a long time that said that. So far, everybody's saying, oh, they haven't. In the last little while.
Right, right.
In a way, good. But yes, tell me, they've started.
They have started. You know, preparations for the events, things are happening. This new client that came on board, I mean, he had a need and it was immediate. And he paid up front, which was even better.
Even better. Warren Werbit, are you listening? Because that's all he talks about is don't sell on credit, don't sell. I have his head, like his, all voices to have in my head is his, right?
He brought that up on the Elevate conversation too.
Am I not surprised?
Well, but it's an important piece.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, and ironically, and it's just the way that's going on right now. I mean, I was blessed with a very, very good first quarter. And had COVID not happened, you know, I was on to a phenomenal year.
Yeah, yeah.
And COVID happened,
yeah.
But I still had a great first quarter. So
awesome.
I had money in the bank and I was blessed with that. Although one client hadn't paid. And it was a pretty significant amount, but they're a very large company and I knew they would, and they did. It was a little bit longer than agreed upon, but I knew they would. So I am, again, very, very fortunate.
Awesome. That is awesome.
So the events, they had the voting for the document strategy forum, and my session, unfortunately, just missed out. But which is too bad, but there'll be some great sessions for that as well. And the National Postal Forum is actually wrapping up a summer series. Their summer series is the last one's this Thursday. And I've been attending and keeping abreast of what's going on in the industry, which is obviously very critical for my business. When someone calls me and says, what's going on in the industry? You know, they're looking to me as the subject matter expert that I have to have, you know, the correct information. Because there's too much fake information out there.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So in this last 2 weeks, what what do you think has been the catalyst to, because I've got my own theories, what do you think is driving that, the surge?
I think some people's need to get to some new normalcy. You know, I hate the term normalcy
Yeah.
because we're constantly changing, and nobody can see the future. But I think everyone's tired of sitting around.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of that. I mean, all right, I've been working my ass off, but
We all, yeah, exactly.
but you know, I haven't been sitting here at my desk as I needed to be. But they weren't the right conversations to have, and with what I can offer, you know, there were more important and pressing things going on with those other companies and their employees. So I had to respect that from my position.
Right.
But people are coming back, want to get back rolling again. The training and education for here in the US, everything that's going on with the Postal Service, how it is going to affect my mailing. Is my mailing going to get there? And just being in tune with all of that, so that the fall mailing season can go off without a hitch. And more importantly, you know, we have an election going on here this year in a couple of months.
Really? You
Yeah.
wouldn't know? I had no idea.
There's a huge vote by mail. You
Really?
know. No, haven't heard that one yet either.
Can I tell you, I probably know more about what's going on in US politics than Canadian politics, which is pretty much the state of our world all the time anyways.
Right.
But there's a lot going on in Canadian politics too, I got to tell you, but I'm not even going to get into it. But because it's just so much more fun when we're not talking about us. Let it be you. We're good. You know, it's like watching a soap opera, which
Oh
of
my
course,
God, isn't
that's
it?
my guilty pleasure. Because I do, yes, I admit it, I do watch my soap opera. Okay,
That's
I have to
okay.
watch
You're
it.
entitled. You can do anything you want.
But I look at it like everybody, like, why do you watch that? You are literally losing brain cells as you watch that. And I look at it and I'm like, because it makes my life seem normal.
Yes.
Right? As crazy as an insane and whatever is going on, you go and you watch a soap and this twin is resurrected from the dead, or there's some alien making babies, or there's some strange thing going on. It's like, you know what? Life's not so bad.
It makes you appreciate so much more what's going on.
I love it. I love it. So when you're having these conversations now with folks who are, do you think, are they just slowly getting back into it? Like, oh, we just want to try a little bit, or like, okay, we're here, we're ready, we're diving in, what do we do? What are you feeling?
Well, some of the clients that I work with are large transactional mailers. So they've been mailing all along. They've had to, based upon the type of material that they mail. You know, financial, healthcare, insurance. You know, what's missing from all of those from their customers is the marketing side. But it's starting to come back a little bit. You know, fall mailing season is just a huge, huge thing. The retailers, we're not going to have a Black Friday.
No.
So people have to think differently about e-commerce and shopping and mailing. I got my Kohl's advertisement. I'm getting advertisements.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why you're not.
I get them all online. I guess maybe it's, you know, everyone's going the digital route and they think it's cheaper, and unfortunately what a lot of companies fail to recognize is it might seem cheaper because it's digital and there's no actual production of anything tangible.
Yep.
But it actually costs more money because it's harder. And it's harder because so many companies don't know what to look for in the data.
100%.
It happened to me not that long ago. I took over an account from another agency, a digital marketing agency, and we were, their SEO and their pay-per-click and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, let me see the reports, because we want to be able to track our results against their results. And so I'm getting all the reports and I'm reading the reports and I'm like, well, what is this? It just became a data dump. And I'm talking to, the CEO, and it's smart people. And he's like, I don't know what any of this means. He goes, I don't know if this is good. I don't know if they're saying we've got, 650 conversions. I'm like, okay, but how many of those resulted in sale? I don't know. Like, they don't know. So they were spending thousands of dollars a month on AdWords and pay-per-click. And they were just completely being not stonewalled, but like the wool was thrown over their eyes, because they were just getting all this data thrown at them. And if you ask them simple questions like, well, who are you helping? What's your quickest time to money? What accounts are converting the quickest from the time they come in as just a sniffing prospect, you don't know what they are, to the time? No, they couldn't answer that question. I'm like, so what's the point? What's the point?
What are you paying for?
What are you measuring? How are you measuring success? Why are you running this program? And how do you know if you should run it again? I don't care whether it's a direct mail, whether it's an email, whatever it is.
Anything.
You're buying a piece of equipment. You're buying software. You're buying a new press. What's your business plan for it? How are you going to make money? How long is it going to take? Who's your customer for this? Whatever this is.
Right.
Those are the questions and the conversations that we need to be having now. And it's less, yes, it's streamlining and automating, and we all know that, and we've all been talking about that for years and years and years. But now it's like pedal to the metal, people. We did all of this for a reason. If you haven't done it, good Lord, hurry the heck up and get on board. If you, because it's shit or get off the pot right now.
Right, exactly.
That window is shut now. Yeah. Like, that's it. 6 months. We're like this, done.
The tools are there. The resources are there. There's no excuse.
There is absolutely no excuse. And sometimes it's just, you just have to ask the right questions. And if you can, the hard questions, and people don't want to ask it. They don't want to ask it. So how do we get these companies to ask the right questions and open their eyes to why they need to be having these conversations now? I don't know.
I've been participating over the summer a lot with Deb Korn in the print production professionals, the Media Center, the Girls Who Print. And one of the, biggest messages she's been preaching all summer, which I totally agree with her, so I don't want to say that I'm stealing it, it's hers, is having the conversation not about selling your widgets or selling your print or selling your services. Everyone is in chaos right now. What is it you're planning, and how can I help?
But we should have had these conversations. I'm sorry. I agree 1,000%. But this is what we've been saying since the beginning.
Right.
If you're just picking up the phone now.
Yes.
To call, again, the only people who have called me have been people looking for me to invest money or change my windows. So if you're a vendor calling me now to check in and see how I'm doing, I'm like, a little late, buddy.
Yeah.
You should have done that already. So let's pretend that's been done.
Right.
And now you're calling back. How does that conversation change? How can we make it? Because I think we do have to start selling now. I think
100% agree.
Cautiously, and again, where that money's spent. Look, the reality is I sell marketing services and solutions. most people are not going to be investing in that unless they absolutely have to. Now, I still think that's not the path to take.
Right.
But, and it's not because I'm trying to line my pockets, but if you lose your marketing, if you chop your marketing budget because you're trying to save money, you may as well close up shop. But again, a whole other
We're
discussion.
not slicing those budgets, and
right.
I agree.
You still need to spend some money, but you need to be smart about it. And I'm trying to have these conversations of, okay, what do we want to do? What's our quickest time to money now? Let's figure that out. Who do you help now? Is it the same people? Is it different people? If you're not sure, let's figure it out. Let's run a quick campaign. Throw up a landing page, test it. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to go through a whole messaging exercise. Yes, those days will be awesome, but they're not here now. That's fine. Let's throw something at the wall and see if it sticks. And if it does, let's just keep throwing it at the wall until we can really paint that new picture.
But it's to your point earlier, you've got to test and measure this stuff.
Yes.
And if you're throwing it out there and not testing it, don't even bother throwing it out there.
Or you don't know what to look for in the data.
Right.
Right. And you can't know what to look for if you don't know what your goals are at the outset.
So I don't know about you in Canada and how did they reopen businesses for, getting back to business? We're doing, every state is doing it differently here. Phases, stages, and not everybody is back to 100%, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And people rolling backwards because of outbreak.
Yes. Similar here. Phased approach.
Yep.
So I'm in Ontario. Where I live now, I think we're in I think it's called phase 3. I don't know. Most things are reopened. Up to 50 people can congregate. Yep. Masks must be worn on public transportation, in malls, but it still is either city by city has. Right. So, for example, the borderline between the city that I live in, the city of Newmarket, and let's say the city of Thornhill, which is 3, 4, 5 cities away, they may have opened up, they may have been in phase 3. It took us a few weeks to get there, right? And it was like, do you travel into the hot spot? You don't want to go south of Steeles because that was the hot spot. You don't want to go downtown because that was the hot spot. But as a whole, our uptick hasn't been too bad. I think we've managed to keep it under, I'm pretty sure we're under 100 cases for the most part, new cases. Awesome. So, and again, I don't know if that's all of Ontario, and I don't want people yelling and screaming at me, but it's pretty good. They're keeping a pretty vigilant eye on how we reopen. Gyms are reopened, nail salon, like everything is pretty much reopened with strict guidelines. Now, is everybody adhering to them? No. I was in an office building. And they have their little hand-printed clip art sign of masks must be worn. There was nobody wearing a mask. No. I was wearing a mask. I went into the bathroom to wash my hands afterwards because I, touched a door handle and I tried to use my sleeve, but, it hit my hand, so I'm washing my hands. And somebody walks into the bathroom not wearing a mask. And I'm like, all right. I had my mask on. So yeah, it is a little bit of hit or miss. But, there's, again, new opportunities to sell and to market. I had a conversation with somebody today about all the floor graphics, right? Because again, that's where a lot of printers migrated, right? And now is a time for them to be potentially replaced. So there's an opportunity to go back in. I'm looking at it, take that to the next level. We're getting into Halloween, back to school. Use those floor graphics as a way to sell. It's real estate. The
Yes.
walls, the windows, the graphics.
Everything.
IKEA has been doing this for decades.
Years. Yes.
They know what they're doing. They didn't need COVID to tell them to put messages on the floor and on the walls and hanging from the ceilings to tell people how to look at every single nook and cranny.
And they were one of the first ones with augmented reality on their catalog.
Exactly. And hear what I just said. I'm waiting for my printed IKEA catalog.
Yes.
I can't wait to get it. Are you kidding me? So again, the blurring of physical, digital, tangible, touchable, visual, all needs to come together now.
Yes.
And that to me is
there to be before COVID.
Yes, but people now, I think, are seeing why.
Yes.
Before it was almost, oh, we can never work from home.
Oh, right.
Right? Well, there goes that theory.
Office.
There goes that theory. So we've proven we can do it.
Working from
Proven
home
we can do
13
it.
years.
I've been living the COVID life long before COVID.
Yes.
The only difference is I didn't have to feed all these testosterone people in my home every single meal until I threw them all back home.
Good for you. Good for you. Go away. Leave me alone.
Get out. No more food for you.
Oh my God.
No, I promise I feed my family.
Well, that's
Sometimes.
good.
When they behave. But yeah, so going back, let's say, to the floor graphics, I was talking to Joe Kern from Docket Manager.
Yes.
And I was saying, you know, there's a lot of still very struggling companies, those mom and pops, the local, so, you know, people are trying to buy local and go to their local restaurants. So what if your local printer, who is the communicator, who knows what needs to happen, goes to all of these businesses and says, okay, we'll create one floor graphic that you all share. So it can have your safety message, but around, let's say, the edges or something, now every person here is represented, or one floor graphic advertises, you know, your restaurant, and this floor graphic advertises your nail salon and your gym, and think of like a strip mall and all the different, you know, maybe there's.
And again, it's, I mean, I have to say the creativity and ingenuity that has come out of COVID has just been phenomenal.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a testament and kudos to humanity.
Right?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm seeing these young, you know, teenagers have 3D printers in their bedrooms, and they're printing face masks and sending them to the local fire departments. I mean, and you know, a million times over, things like that have happened.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's amazing. Wow.
But on the print side of things, the creativity has not gone away. You know, the fall is a great opportunity for businesses to get back to business.
Exactly.
And
start to have the business conversations.
Yes.
In addition to the how are you doing, but it's more like, how can we help you get back to business, as opposed to how can we help you just get through this? And that's where I think that shift is starting to happen. You're still calling to check in, but now you're like, okay, people, let me help you, because we've been doing this now for a few months. Maybe you're just reopening, but we've been seeing what's been going on for the last 6 months. Let us help you.
Sure.
This is what you need.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, I love it. So what's up for you for the rest of the summer? Whatever's left of it.
Well, there's not much left of that, is there?
No.
Continuing my training for this client, which is great. I'm re-engaging with a couple of clients that we've been on pause with, and I've been having conversations with them, which is great. And looking for new opportunities, participating in the online industry events that are coming up this fall.
Yeah, and we're both going to be at Xplor.
Yes, we are. I'm looking forward to that.
Are we on any panels together, do you know?
I don't believe we are. We might want to fix that.
I have to check that. I have to make sure we're not against each other. All I know is every single time I've been on either a session or a panel, I'm always up against Pat McGrew. Like it never fails. So I'm like, Skip, let's do it again. Skip, we got to end this with Skip.
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 Oh, that's
poor
funny.
Skip, poor Skip. We love you, Skip. We love you, Skip. Skip's been going through a rough time.
Who's that woman behind you on your image?
Me. Do I have to hide? Oh, all you can see is my chair. Hold on. There you go. Can you see that?
It's beautiful.
That's me. So I just kind of cover me up.
The real thing's much better.
Well, this way, if I have to, if I drop something, at least you still have me there.
Yes, that's a good one. I'll have to put my image back there as well. And how about you? What are you doing for your business and how are you helping your customers?
Oh, again, I'm all about who you help and how you help. And right now, my big message out there is I just really want to help people stretch their marketing dollars. So whether it's finding ways to repurpose what they already have, or coming up with these quick start campaigns that will really test a new message for an affordable way of testing something as opposed to redoing the whole thing just in case it's wrong. I'm doing bulk social media for salespeople who want to dip their toes into the water and just don't know where to start. So I'll give you a library of content. And all you have to do is post it and start sharing and engaging and liking and commenting and get used to it.
Yes.
And if you want more, I'll give you more. And I want to help people learn to fish. That's it. That's really, if I can help a company stretch their dollars, figure out who they help, generate better leads, quicker time to money, replicate that, I'm a very happy person.
Good.
Right? So I had one client call this morning saying, you cannot believe it. We've got too many leads coming in. I'm like, are you kidding me? Put that as a testimonial. He's like, honestly, we cannot deal with the leads that are coming in. We need to pause our campaigns. I'm like, no. We're not doing that. We're not pausing shit.
You go with it.
But what we will do is strategically get better at culling through the folks who are submitting. Whereas normally you wouldn't do that. You want to have, let's say, a short form and get people to just submit their thing. Now we really want to, it's like, if you're interested in this, we're going to put the pricing up front. You do realize this could cost you, this is going to start at $500. Right. Still interested? We'll talk to you. Not great. We'll send you our newsletter.
Yep.
Again, not something I would often recommend, but when we're generating just too many leads.
But if you don't have that back end office support, for those types of leads, and depending on what they are, 100% agree with your approach to, kind of streamline active versus just.
You don't want to turn it off. You don't want to turn it off. That's the worst thing you can do. Yes. So
have you fished with Warren yet? I
have not. I've seen him fish, but he's in Montreal and I'm in Toronto, so it's different provinces. So we're neighbors, but it's still a good 6 hour. Well, it depends how you drive. Good. Anywhere from 4 to 6 hours.
The long ways.
Yes.
Excellent.
But I don't know. Maybe we'll have to get him to take all of his print friends out on the boat when we're all allowed to congregate together, right?
Oh, that would be a fabulous trip. I'd drive up to Montreal for that.
There you go. That would be awesome. I'd drive to
Montreal. I really, really miss seeing people in person.
I know. I miss hugging people.
No.
Right? It's like I ran into something. You just want to give them. It's like I just want to reach out and give you a big hug.
Yes. I hope we get back to that someday.
So we have to.
And
so where can people reach you?
So thank you very much. You can find me on LinkedIn under Christine Erna or at strategicpostaladvisors.com. And Joanne, I can't thank you enough for this opportunity to shoot the shit with you.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
Christine, I am so glad you said yes. I mean, I miss you, and I cannot wait till Xplor so we can
that would be excellent.
shoot the shit some more and cause a little bit of a ruckus.
We definitely do that. Joanne, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
It's been awesome, Christine. Have an awesome rest of your day.
You as well. We'll talk soon.
All right, take care. Bye.